Hello, guys. I'm Scott.
I'm Bob here for Tuesday Night Live. Thank you for showing up to be part of the program tonight. We certainly do appreciate it. We love it when everyone comes by and hangs out with us. Dropping by also tonight is a lovely couple who is well known in the Claus community as well as members of MAPS. But they will be making their first appearance as featured guests here on Tuesday Night Live. They have so much to share and experience to back it up. Sit tight, prop up your feet, and get refreshments of your choice because the show is about to start. The opening of tonight's show is brought to you by North Pole Cornerstones, a new, unique, educational, 4-day entertaining experience. This is Tuesday Night Live. Well. There's this guy who's about to get busy. I mean, real busy getting ready for the School of Santas in July 2025. Preparations are well underway, and F no dash L with no L has been so busy she suddenly become flat-footed as her golden arches have fallen. He did it, yeah. You all know who I'm speaking of.
Is he a clown?
The clown, the practical North Pole podiatrist himself. Give it up for Spangle.
Hey, what did Santa say when Mrs. Claus says you forgot something at the grocery store?
I give up. What?
But dear, I checked the list twice.
Should have seen that one coming. Hey, look who's sitting next to me tonight. I know.
Not gonna do it.
Yeah. But hey, somebody had to get me out of Oklahoma in those storms.
I'm surprised you got past the Red River. They showed a photo or an actual video on our local news, and the water is up to the bottom of the bridge on 35.
Well, I may have to stay another day.
May have to stay another 2 or 3 days by the time the creek goes down. All right, everyone say hello to Angela Mack. She's over in the corner. As always, for the next hour and a half, she's going to come on, wave. Hello,
hey, Angie. How are you?
Good. How are y'all?
I'm just jolly as always.
There you go. That's the way it goes, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Can't help myself, Bob. Just can't help myself.
Can't help herself. Okay, so remember, folks, like, comment, and subscribe. That is the YouTube way. If you have not done that, please do so. Share our videos, share our web address. Just share for us, man. Be in a sharing spirit. The Tuesday Night Live Show 1225. You don't want to miss a single show. You just don't. So check us out. Now, go ahead and catch that next piece.
The first half of the Tuesday Night Live Show trivia is brought to you by School of Santas 2025. Yes, it's Spangle School in picturesque Ozark Mountains, Branson, Missouri, where fun and education meet.
Always. Coming up soon.
Can't wait.
Read about it reporting for TNL Chatterbox News. School of Santas 2025 will be held July 17th through the 20th in beautiful, picturesque Branson, Missouri, right in the heart of the Ozark Mountains. If you've been before, then you know all about the 4 days of festivities that School of Santas is best known for. Each year, the host facility, Americ Inn by Wyndham, Branson, and Conference Center, is home to over 100 clauses for the weekend and is centrally located in the middle of everything Branson. If you have never attended SOS, what are you waiting for? You are missing out on one of the Claus community's premier educational opportunities. For more information on price and to ensure your place at the next School of Santas, contact Tanya Lay at Branson Ticket and travel today at 800-432-4202. Again, that's 800-432-4202 and get registered today. I'm Read About It reporting. Now back over to you guys in the TNL studio.
Hey, Spangle, since you're the practicing North Pole podiatrist, we got a good question for you tonight.
Uh-oh.
Hey, Spangle, real quick before you take off on the School of Santas trivia, can you tell us how your registration's going real quick?
Well, the registration is going really good. Actually, I've gotten messages from Tanya saying, "Should we stop it? Should we stop it?" And I say, "Well, let it go a couple more, only because typically you end up having a cancellation or two." But
Well,
yeah,
we're excited to be there from the studio, and hopefully we'll get some good coverage of the school as well. So we're looking forward to be there and appreciate you having us come up to the Ozarks and spend a week up there with you.
well, Scott, I got tired of you saying, "Please, please, can I come? Please, can I come?"
That was Martin, I think.
Yes. But anyways, yeah, we're pretty much there, but we're still taking a couple. We got 70. What it looks like backwards on the screen. 71 days, 17 hours, 52 minutes, and 23 seconds till the bell rings for class.
I love it, and I'm ready. I'm ready for a vacation in Branson.
Yeah.
Let's hear what the trivia is tonight and see if we've got any winners coming.
All right. Up until the 20th century, doctors who focused on feet, ankles, and legs were called blank and considered separate from other types of organized medicine. Humans have been wearing shoes for blank years. And how much did the most expensive shoes ever sell for?
Yeah, that's only 3 answers. That's not too bad. That's one lesson we've been having.
Up until the 20th century, doctors focused on feet, ankles, and legs were called blank and considered separate from other types of organized medicine. Humans have been wearing shoes for blank years, and how much did the most expensive shoes ever sell for? Now, we could add one more answer to that. Where are those most expensive shoes? And I think you'll find them in my wife's closet.
Oh,
Your wife's?
Well, women do like shoes. That's for sure. That's a hint. What was your hint?
My hint is better look in Kansas.
You could, but I don't think we're in Kansas anymore. Well, I know, but we're not in Kansas anymore.
Well,
all right, it's time to get down to business. Tonight's featured guests are joining us from the great state of Michigan. Linden, Michigan is famous for its small town charm, originally named Camullin's Corners after Jacob Camullen, one of the early settlers. The town's name was later changed to Linden in 1840. The name Linden was chosen due to the abundance of linden trees that grow in the area. The guests tonight love its peaceful lifestyle and sense of community. Let's please welcome Kathy and Bruce Norrid.
Oh, hi. My. Hello, everyone.
My first question, I just got to ask you, okay? How do you take all those phone calls and track Santa on Christmas Eve?
I'm sorry, what was that?
How do you take all those phone calls and track Santa on Christmas Eve? Isn't that you that does it?
That's another division.
It's a very similar name, but no, it's not mine.
That's a little bit different.
A little bit.
Yeah, we went, what?
So,
rad.
You live in Linden, Michigan.
Yes.
One of the most popular swimming holes where I am here is Linden Lure.
Oh.
Ah.
Now, let me ask you about that original name. Cumlin's Corner, is that how you pronounce that?
No idea. It's the first time I've heard it.
Yeah, me, I do a little bit of research to try to make things interesting. I usually mess it up. So
Yeah.
I think it's how it's pronounced. It's Cumlin's Corner. And they changed the name due to the abundance of the linden tree. So
yes, I believe that is true.
We've only lived here a year, so there's a lot of
really? Well, I know that it is a smaller community, and you're kind of out away from the big city. And the one thing that I kept reading over and over and over was how peaceful, how the lifestyle is there, and the sense of community that the Linden has. So
that's very true.
Good choice, guys. Good choice.
We can walk to the center of town and sit by the river and have a cup of coffee and just really relaxing.
Hey, Spangle, maybe that's where we need a vacation.
Maybe. Do you have traffic lights? Do you guys have traffic lights?
Yes. And we have a McDonald's and a Taco Bell. So
Wow.
you're set.
All right.
Gourmet dining at its best.
Yeah. The town I'm in, we don't have traffic lights, and it was just a few years ago they painted the line down the middle of the street.
Yeah, we've got, we're actually a larger, small city.
Okay.
We have an airport.
And I got to get a ride in a 1932 Roar the other day.
How special.
Old Mac over there, he's got a big field if you need to use an airport.
Yeah.
All right, let's get rolling, Spangle.
All right.
Hi, Bruce Kathy. We're so glad to have you here coming on TNL tonight to share your story, share your expertise. We're going to jump right in with this one. What inspired you to become professional Santa and Mrs. Claus?
Start.
I'll start on that one. Now, originally, I had no plan of becoming Santa Claus. I had a white beard that I grew when I was driving the school bus. And the manager of the school bus yard, she goes, you know, with your personality and that white beard, you should become Santa Claus. And I thought about it. I questioned her about it, and she said, absolutely, you should. And I said, okay, if I'm going to, you're going to come along as my Mrs. Claus.
And I said, no, wait. Our impetus for doing it kind of was a trip we took out west after I retired. And we were in Williams, Nevada, is it?
Williamson.
Williamson. And they had a train ride, and they had the where they held you up on the train, you know, and that. And the head sheriff came talking to him and said, yeah, I play Santa Claus during the wintertime. He goes, I went to this school up in Michigan called C.W. Howard.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, yeah, we've heard of that.
Yeah, that's Williams, Arizona. That is the western southern entrance to the Grand Canyon. You go north about
Yes.
50 miles up to the Grand Canyon from Williams.
Yep.
Did y'all ride the train up to the canyon?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we tried to do it all. Yeah,
That's
it was
a
nice.
great trip. And Williams is a nice little small community. I mean, you know, it's not real big. It's it's city size, but not like where I'm at here. And Scott's with me tonight in Dallas-Fort Worth area. It's huge.
Right.
So
Yeah, you guys there in Dallas-Fort Worth have got a large city.
I'll tell you what, it's unbelievable just in my 71 years here, being born here, how much this town and all of North Texas has grown and continue to grow.
Mhm.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
We were a country at one time, not anymore. Country sucks. Here we sit in the middle of it.
What kind of training or certification do you think are helpful to or needed to be a Santa Claus performer?
Well, I think getting involved with a community of Clauses in your area or outside of whatever you can do to get involved in something, and then picking a training that suits what you might like to do. You may find out that there's different avenues like photography work or home visits or mall settings or being more of an entertainer, and
Mhm.
finding those teachers that fit your category of what you want to do.
Yeah. We've taken C.W. Howard. That was our first school that we went to. And it was a great opportunity of networking with all of the other Santas throughout the United States. And then we've taken several other schools since then. We've done Tim Conahan's. MAPS is very fortunate in that we're very strong in education for ourselves. And so that's been a big help there.
Cool.
And
Robert Suter's class, Santa True. We
yes,
took that. And that's helped, I think, in our personal development of how we relate in the avenues that we're doing and what we're doing.
hmm
And then, of course, the Santa family reunion, we've gone to that. So we probably haven't gone to a lot of things that we could do, but, I think some of the best education that you get is sitting around a table at breakfast time with a cup of coffee and talking with other Santas to find out, how they relate to things and what they do in situations with the children.
Yeah, I think this is as good as gold, really.
And we know, I heard you mention, and we know, and a lot of our viewers know, but maybe not all of our viewers know. Do you want to explain to them what MAPS is?
MAPS is the Michigan Association of Professional Santas. We're a group that came together, started out with just 3 guys, 3 Santas, getting together and deciding to create an organization. And it's now grown to where I believe the last I heard were around 400 members.
I think it's up to 5.
Up to 5 now.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we run 2 different programs a year, educational programs. One is in June. It's called Jingle Joy. And that's where we'll hire somebody to come in for 2 days and do a presentation at that time. And then the other one is in August, and that's called the Red Suit Conclave. And for that's another 2 days. And that's drawing on the educational experiences of our MAPS members.
Our
community, and do the trainings and that for that. And then we have a fun time in January where we have a banquet.
Also going to say that MAPS has been one of our strongest supporters for the Tuesday Night Live and the TNL network as a whole. When we first got rolling that second season, I guess it was when we started picking up new members to the group and all. MAPS was right there in full force, and we just always like to say thank you to all you guys for your support.
There's a lot of talent.
Well, what do you think are the most important traits and skills a Christmas performer should have?
One of them would be, one of them is photography.
Yeah.
Because you may not want to sit down with a photographer and do the, family pictures that they send out on Christmas cards. But every time that you're with a child, somebody's got a camera now, and they're pulling out their phone and they're taking a picture. And how you present yourself. If you're sitting down, are you sitting back in the chair? Are you sitting on the edge of the chair? Are you giving your presence and a good face? And just those little things like that sometimes you don't know that has to be done. And you look at somebody's pictures and go, oh, okay. Yeah, that's not probably the best they could be. They could be doing that.
And it's also then on how to get the best photo out of the children, how to position the child. If you have an infant, getting that held up to where the face is seen, and the young ones kind of corralling and getting them involved in the pictures.
Yeah.
We also have the unique. Okay. We also have the unique thing of doing Mrs. and Mr. Claus, and sometimes we have to be really aware of the others. Especially he has to be. I'm really small. And he has to be aware that he's not going to put a larger child in front of me for the picture. So, I'm going.
Which has happened.
Challenge when you get a larger.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say it is a challenge when you get a larger group, family or a group of children coming together, cousins or neighborhood friends all want to come get a picture at one time, and you end up with 8, 10, or 12 and trying to cram them into a picture, and then trying to get your hands where they're visible. Sometimes I just have to do this and get them, tucked in because they're just stacked on top of me. So
yeah, a lot of times I will do hands up over the head and give that shake to them to get.
Absolutely.
My hands are way up here.
Bruce, I bet you don't cover Mrs. C up anymore because you don't want to miss out on cookies when you get home.
That's right.
You got that right, Scott.
You know, I'm going to add to this too, and on the important traits and skills, and I think it's one of the important things is the art of listening,
Yes.
and really, you know, making that child really feel that you're connected with that child, not just okay, yep. You know, I just really get a focus point to that child.
Them that one-on-one and actually look them in the face and don't be looking around to see what's going on around you, but give that child your undivided
I think
attention. I
that's
agree.
another important thing.
Absolutely.
And even if you can't do every answer to the questions, that you've developed your story and you know what you're going to say to somebody. There's always that question or that statement that's going to take you off guard, but keep those few and far in between.
You tried to anyway, right?
That's the good part about having a Mrs. or a Santa working together is one stumbles, the other one can pick it up. And for me, a lot of times I use redirection. I pause for a moment, act like I'm studying what they said to me, and then I'll ask them a question. They'll forget completely about what they asked me and be eager to answer what Santa is asking them. So sometimes that works too, diversion.
And Santa knows this, of course, working with a Mrs. Claus, it's always nice to, oh, that's a very good question. I think you should ask Mrs. Claus that.
Thanks.
I want the cookies when you get home.
That's right.
All right. How do you guys stay in character, especially during long days and stressful events?
That is a very difficult thing to do sometimes. We try real hard to stay energized the whole time. Being storytellers, both of us, helps in that a lot of ways because you're able to project and move around and not be stationary. I would say that would be a big one. What would you say?
Well, I think too that there just comes moments when you just got to close your eyes and say, I am Mrs. Claus. I am Mrs. Claus, and just kind of build up that energy that's inside of you. And this is how I have to ask now. I'm going to go to bed in 2 hours, but it'll be, I still have to do what I have to do and talk to the people and, talk to the kids.
Sometimes I think we need a magic curtain where we can say curtain down. It just comes down and you just shake it all out and curtain up. Okay, here we go. We're ready again.
For sure.
That is so true.
It just doesn't work.
Randall Santa Checkerley always says, it's ship time.
Yeah.
Well, would you share with our viewing audience, how do y'all find work as professional Christmas performers?
We've been very fortunate. We have gone out and met with people
Cold calls.
A lot of cold calls. And we've been fortunate to pick up some good accounts, build some lasting relationships. And so that's been very beneficial for us. Getting in touch with photographers to do photography work, that's been a struggle. But we've been blessed in that I show them pictures and I show them what I can do or what we can do together. And 9 times out of 10, they book with us.
We've had some very interesting, jobs that we've had. And most of them, once we do them, we get asked back again. So we've almost got our whole season filled.
It's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
What advice would you give someone who's just starting out being a Christmas performer other than run?
The best advice I would give would be to, number one, find other Santas in the area to connect with them. And then number two, to find a school that will help you to grow that persona within you, because you have to have the Santa heart to start with. Yep.
Yeah, I think, and I've always said this, Bruce, put back 10, 15, 20% of your earnings each year towards education.
Yes.
Yes.
Try one school a year, at least one school a year.
Yeah, I could not agree with that more. We've tried to do that, or at least one, and with our MAPS organization, we get 3.
Yeah, definitely.
Very good.
All right, guys, can you share a memorable or touching story? Maybe one or two if you got a couple in mind of some of your visits.
One real funny one that I have was just this past season. We had a young girl come running in to see Santa. And Grandma and Mom came in very shortly behind her. And no sooner had she got up to me and she goes, "Santa, can you make my mom pregnant?"
Oh, Lord.
Oh, my. Oh, that was so funny. And I told her, "Well, I'm sorry. Santa can't do that kind of thing." And she turns right around and says, "Well, what about your elf?
Can you do it?" The 16-year-old elf was not having it.
Kids will say the darndest thing. That is for sure. The old Art Linkletter show. Remember? I know you guys don't have to remember. Kids
We
say
had an engagement in front of us, and to clarify, the scenario, we work in a cabin for most of our work, and it's very rustic, and it has gaps about this big in between each floorboard. And we had no idea the guy was going to pop the question. He sat down to talk to Santa, and he goes, "Well, you want, have anything else to ask for?" And then he gets down on his knees to the girl, and pulls out the ring, and he's going,
and he's fumbling, shaking as he's handing the ring to her. And I'm there, "Oh, don't drop it. Don't drop it."
Yeah, I've had a couple of those proposals, and one of them worked out. They're still together. The other one didn't last a year, and they got divorced and moved on.
And they blamed Santa for it.
And they blame me for it, exactly.
Good scapegoat. Yeah. We've also
share with us what you do to prepare for your Christmas season, physically and emotionally.
Physically, we try to keep walking, a couple of miles a day if possible. Eating well. You can handle the emotional part.
The emotional part really, for me, is beneficial working with my wife. And we're just celebrated our 49th wedding anniversary. So that's a big thing nowadays. You don't see that happen very often.
Yeah, Bob's right up there with you.
Good.
I figured he had to be pretty close.
Well, we were very fortunate last year. These two guys right here, Spangle and Scott, their wives, and me and my wife went to Florida for our 50th. So congratulations on so many years together, guys.
And he's always like this. He's always like this. He sings to his cereal in the morning,
I'm trying to make it to my second year.
And that's a good thing.
Yes.
Well, what resources would you recommend for someone wanting to become a better Christmas performer?
Resources. Oh man, that's a tough one to answer. There are so many good books, good classes.
Zoom classes and, you know, classes that you can take online that are being offered, and, you know, just even things like Tuesday Night Live and stuff for Santa.com. I think I'm being prompted. You can find a lot of stuff there.
I think he missed that. I had that up there.
I think he did. Was that a hint?
Sorry.
No, you're fine. Yeah.
That's right on, you
Yeah.
know, because it is this interaction, hearing what others are doing that is so beneficial.
That's like the little things that you can do. We got those little signs for our car that say North Pole Edition. And we were talking to a little boy outside of a photography session, and he didn't want to go and have any pictures with Santa, but he saw those on the car. And we tell him that Ford Motor Company makes this car special. We fly into the airport because we can't fly the reindeer unless it's Christmas Eve. And then Ford Motor Company, because we're Detroit, Michigan, you know, has this car sitting there waiting for us. And oh my gosh, the best thing ever. Can I have my picture taken with you? Yes, you can.
You know, that North Pole Edition thing that you're talking about, we got an added edition for that to put on your car, but I'll tell you about it in the green room.
Okay.
Listen to the addition.
An addition to the edition, yes.
Uh-huh.
All right. Have you guys ever faced burnout, or how do you keep the magic alive for yourselves?
Well,
And you know, it's a family show.
working with a spouse helps out a lot, or working with a Mrs. Claus, or if you have an elf that you work with all the time, the two of you can help each other through those times where you're not quite really on your best, but they can help to bring that back out for you.
At the beginning of the season, I tend to overbook him. And he, you know, and he'll say, no more. But I'm going, you know, but you could do this school, or you could do that. You got, you know, you got 2 hours in between this gig. And you go, no, absolutely not. I am not going to do it. So he holds me back, because at the end of the season, I'm really glad he did it. You know, at the beginning, I'm like, let's take everything. Let's do everything. And I think you have to say, no, you have to, you know.
There are times where you can't do everything. You can't be the Santa for everyone, or Mrs. Claus for everyone. And so, yeah, there are times where you have to say no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know, this kind of leads into that question, or that thing where she was trying to get you to work more and more and more. Do you feel like you failed at retirement?
That question was brought up to us by a ladies' luncheon group that Kath goes to. They were all gathered together, and I mean, most of us are seniors in this group, and they heard all that we're doing with the Santa and the classes and everything. They go, boy, you failed at retirement.
Yeah.
And it was like, no, we didn't fail. We're enjoying this retirement. We're able to spread that Christmas joy to all that we come in contact with.
We know people we never would have known before,
Mm-hmm.
you know, really good people, and enjoying.
Like you three.
That's right.
That's the relationships that you build that last for a lifetime. And that's the thing about the brother sisterhood in the red suit, is people just don't get it. They don't realize how much of a tight-knit family we really are.
See, I can understand what you said about, you know, us two, but the guy on the other side of Bob, I don't know. I mean, there's a reason that Bob is sitting between us.
You know,
No, we feel like it keeps us young
Well,
too.
hey, I got a question because I didn't have the opportunity to have somebody tell me when I started, and I'm probably the youngest Santa on the TNL team as far as experience. But what is the most important thing you wish someone had told you before you got started?
You don't need everything all at once.
Take your time.
Wrong.
No, it's okay to go to Stuff for Santa and get those extra things, but remember that you have to do it by what your budget can afford.
Yeah.
Of course.
Or just in moderation?
In moderation, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Because,
like
you know,
to eat every week of the year. So if you can come back, it's fine.
Well,
And I do.
Well, for me, I'm probably people don't know this, and I probably shouldn't spill the beans, but do you know what the Shriners are?
Yes.
The people, yeah, okay. Well, I'm a Shriner, have been for almost 30 years. And I wear fez, I do the parades, I did all that, and that's probably where my caring about children are, because the children's hospitals, that's what we support. And
Yes.
the thing about it is that my first job as a Santa, volunteer Santa, was my shrine temple. And they asked, would you come, because I had a beard, would you come do Santa? And I painted my beard with beard white, theatrical beard white. I went up there, and the one thing I learned was the clowns know how to put on rouge.
Yes.
I had the rosiest cheeks I've ever had in my whole career so far was from those clowns. And what I was going to tell you was the suit I had was that bright red. It looked like a gorilla suit almost, a heavy polyester fur, and the white fur was almost the same length as the red. And the belt was plastic, and it was up here, and the spat, and the whole, a lot of us started that way. And I wasn't planning on doing anything. I'm sitting there, and people that have known me 20 years went to my family and said, "Where's Scott? Is he here? Where's he at?" And they said, "Well, yeah, he's here. Don't know where." And they looked around, and the gentleman that asked wives came and sat on my knee, and they still didn't know who I was. And I said, "This is for me. I love it." And it was free. And at that point, to go back, my point is that after that, I started looking. I said, I got to have a real suit.
Yeah.
I gotta have, and I started out asking around, and I will tell you one of the things an advice that I would probably give to somebody wanting to get into the industry is finding somebody to mentor you from day one, because I got turned away by the first person I called. I was reprimanded.
Are you bragging that guy was smarter than me and Bob?
I don't know. How would you? No, absolutely not. But there's also a story how I got started in this from an education standpoint. But we'll wait and tell that story maybe in the green room.
Well, and Santa always wants to go out and buy that new suit, as he said.
Yes.
But you got to remember, Mama needs a new pair of shoes first.
So did Santa need a new pair of boots?
That comes second.
I don't know. Mama was pretty supportive, though, if you think about it, because it was right off the bat. Spangle said, "Here, let me measure your foot." There went my first pair of Spears boots.
All right, Kathy and Bruce, stick tight. This is our middle of the show, halftime short break that we take. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back on the other side. We've got a Stuff for Santa commercial that we love to play. We never get tired of watching. And that's going to be followed by the Showstopper special and our second trivia coming up. Stay with us, folks.
We'll be right.
Oh, hello there. Yes, of course, it's me, Santa Claus. Now, you may not believe this, but one of the questions I get asked the most is, well, not how do I do it all in one night? No, but where do I get all my things from? Yes, now, what am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about the finest things I have. My glorious gloves, all my knickknacks and trinkets and things. Yes, all the giveaways. Yes, for me to give to the children before the main event. Yes, if I see them in the streets, if they come and see me, I like to have something in my pocket I can treat them with. Yes, and there's one special place where I can find all these magical goods. And that is, of course, StuffForSanta.com. You should head there now and see what magical gifts you can find. Mrs. Claus, have you got my ice pad? Yes, log me on. I'm going to have a look. I shall see you there. StuffForSanta.com. Merry Christmas.
Hey, we got some bills to pay. So what we're going to offer today, we're going to offer the free one for the trivia. But hey, we want you guys to go out and get one of these cups. We have the coffee cup, stainless steel, got this drinkable lid, close it, and it stays tight.
Yes.
We have the 20-ouncer, fits in the thing in the car, got that closable lid. The big one comes with the straw pack also. So here at TNL, you know, we don't charge for the show, but we do got some bills that we got to pay. So either one of these is $20. Get one for you, get one for your friend, get one for your enemy. They're a great gift to give your friend. They are stainless steel, a great thing to bounce off your enemy's head. Okay, wait, did I say that? Hey, anyways, get you one. You know, they're awesome. Anyways, let's go to the trivia.
Santa family
How-
reunion.
How many
Next question.
bones? How many bones, joints, ligaments, muscles, and tendons does the single human foot contain? And how many sweat glands does a pair of feet have? This just smells like, I don't want to know what it smells like. How many bones, joints, ligaments, muscles, and tendons does a single human foot contain? We need to know the bones, the joints, the ligaments, and the muscles, tendons. And how many glands does a single foot have?
5 answers all together. Yes, that's right. Tonight is Pink Night on Trivia Night on TNL.
So get your foot a stopping and get you one of these cups.
Yes, sir.
So like I said, get one for you, get one for your missus, get one for your friend, get one you can throw at your enemy. They're a nice cup. You know, we just got some bills here at TNL. So anyways, all right, Bob.
What you didn't give them was the clue that was at the top there, Spangle, according to the source.
Why do we have to tell them where the answer is?
Well, that's a pretty tough question. You want to let them see if they can get it without it?
Well, yes.
All right. You got to work hard for the mug or the coffee mug, the tumbler.
Man, these are prime prizes.
This is true. This is very true. All right, let's get moving back on the second half of tonight's program with our featured guest, Kathy Ambrose Norrit.
Hey,
Here we go,
guys,
guys.
you know, it was great seeing you in Gatlinburg. What was a couple of the highlights that you took away from the Santa Fe reunion of 2025?
Are you looking at me, huh? Boy, there were a lot of things. That's what's really hard to narrow it down to just a couple of things. One of the things was the entertainment that we had on Saturday. I don't know what night that was, Monday night, but I can't remember the name of the band or the singer that we had, but Scott something.
Blake Elleridge.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, he could rock the house, and I've never seen him dance. And everybody
The Spanish
was
Shuffle.
really enjoying that. And
And
that
after you seen him dance, you wish you would have never seen him dance.
No, it was great. It was great. And just the speakers that we had, I think we just had a top-notch round of speakers.
Yeah.
for the event.
Had you been to a Santa Fe reunion before?
Yes, one other time.
Yeah, this was our second
time.
second round with the Santa family reunion.
I bet the other one was when it was in Gatlinburg also.
Yes.
Amazingly, yes.
Hey, what did you think about all the vendors there and how much space it took to house all them?
I loved the way that the vendor area was laid out. It was so nice to be able to see all of the different vendors that were there. And, you know, there was this one guy that he had to have like 10 booths. And it was amazing, all of the stuff that he had.
If you couldn't find it there, it's not available somewhere. I did feel bad for some of the vendors that were in the corners, off in the different areas of the place, and
or out in the hallway.
Out in the hallway, yeah, especially, that they may not have gotten as much attention or even been seen by by people. They're all over the place.
That guy that had let's put it this way, the booth hogger, the guy that was taking up all the space, he even put stuff inside our booth.
Oh my
Imagine that.
They thought we were a storage booth.
Not only did he stick these over there, he stuck some of his containers over there. But that's all right, because we was glad to have it.
Yes.
Now, that's one thing, you said you had been to one other SFR before. That was the one thing I think that I really took away this year was the amount of vendors, and that that Liz and Sherry and Trish moved them out into the hallway. There were so many. So,
well, and the variety too.
And the variety was a lot more this time around.
Yeah, you had boots, you had suits, you had shirts, you had
beard
hair, and it was phenomenal. Pronos coming back around. That was exciting to see that too.
Yeah.
And I love the swap shop.
A better person couldn't have gotten it either with Lee.
Yeah.
Well, will you guys be attending any events or schools outside of Michigan in the next 12 months?
I think we're signed up for something called the School of Santas and down in Branson this year.
So
we're going to take a stab in the dark.
Now, this is going to be your guys' first time to Branson to the school.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
I really think you're going to find out that our schools run a lot different than any of the others.
I've heard that, and I'm excited to experience the different things that you have to offer.
Yeah. Make sure you get with me towards the end, because I like to do video interviews with people, and we'll use them later.
Okay.
The biggest thing you'll find in Branson is there's no entertainment. It's all PowerPoint.
No, that's not
that, right.
That's not true, because the biggest thing you'll find in Branson is Scott.
I thought it was going to be the Santas being there. That was the big draw. No,
it's amazing how people react to 100 Santas walking into a Branson show, and it's a blast, because the boys and girls and the children that are there will say, "Who's the real Santa?" And somebody will say, "Well, the real Santa, please stand up."
Everybody does.
Stands up. Yeah.
And so they say, "Well, which one's real?" Says, "Well, that's for you to decide."
Yep.
That's
right.
That's one of those wonderful things you learn talking to other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's similar to Gatlinburg in a lot of ways because of the small town feel, the entertainment side of things, the restaurants. But again, when you go out on the town in Branson, folks are expecting to see Santa because they know that School of Santas have been there year after year after year, and it's not biannually; it's every year. And then, of course, the one thing we always like to talk about the most is the parade. The parade is so much fun.
Yeah, I got.
What is this? 8 years, Branson? 8 years?
Yeah, 8 years. Yeah, I got 2 meetings with the local police. Hopefully, we can get things squared out a little better this year.
Yeah, I don't want to go to jail.
Don't want to get in no trouble, that's for sure. And you know what? We were good until this last year, and that one police officer pulled out of Wally World and got Good kid.
Scott and
It
Melissa.
was right in front of us. I don't remember who it was. But anyway, told them to turn their overhead light
Melissa
off.
and me.
Huh?
Yeah.
Melissa and me.
Scott and Mel.
Melissa and you. That's right. Matt Sandoval.
But what he had done, he pulled over another guy that had been causing problems in the Hummer.
Yeah.
And that's why he got us. He wouldn't have bothered us.
Yeah,
Probably.
he had them pulled over. Had that guy pulled over in
The
front
one
of
to
him. He
make
broke
any
into
difference.
lines. What he did, and then he told them, "Hey, turn them lights off." But they're red and green. They're not, you know.
Well, you can't run red and green.
But they said you can't run red. The green's okay. It's the red, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get past it again. We always do.
Spangle's gonna get it fixed up. We're
Yeah.
all good.
All right, where are we going now,
Right
Spangle?
here, Spangle.
Okay, so let's go to our viewers and see if they have any questions or comments. I'm sure we've got like 7 of them marked for us.
Sure.
Maps is the best. They are so friendly and knowledgeable, always willing to share and support others in their community. And that's with Jenny Kringle.
We love Jenny and her husband.
I'm going to be on the Kringle Brothers with Jenny tomorrow and Pam Smith.
We'll pray for you.
Doug ain't bad himself.
That's right.
And my favorite, of course, in her show is Shawn White. She says Kathy is the treasurer of Maps Board.
Yes.
Also, Bruce and Kathy are the best, good people.
Mhm.
From Shawn also.
Thanks, Sean.
And if you haven't caught Shawn's show on Monday night at 6 p.m. right here on TNL.
True.
Yes.
Connie says, it's amazing to me that your seasons are already almost fully booked. That is awesome.
Mm.
That's AJ's mom, Connie Bayless.
Okay.
We are blessed.
She's a great person.
Rick Rector says, I've never been in a parade. How you guys go about getting that particular job? I've tried several years. I keep trying. So you guys done parades?
Yes.
We
You want to
know
know
where.
how you got those parades?
We're friends with the mayor of the city that we do the parade with.
We knew him since he was a little boy. But again, talking to people, if you can get on Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah. Don't stop trying.
Well, the way I got in my parade is that the Santa that was doing it had health issues, and he said, "Hey, this is who you call." And I ended up getting his sleigh he had. Bob's seen it, and he gave me his sleigh. I offered to buy it. I went to buy it from him. When I got there and went to load it, he said, "Just take it." So
Wow.
I mean, I'm grateful for him. I'm grateful. Ron was really good to me. So
But then what'd you do this year?
I used his.
He used my sleigh.
Well, mine's got springs in it, and his doesn't. His is solid.
I
So
didn't want to mess his up, so he put mine on the float, and here they went.
So Connie
Yeah.
says, happy anniversary. Great accomplishment for you too.
And AJ's mother.
Thank you.
Rick Rector again says, by the way, thank you, Supper Santa, for my awesome belt buckle.
awesome.
Yeah.
Hey,
I
Gary
love the
Linder.
belt
Is that
buckles.
what it is?
Yeah, Linder.
Gary Linder says Spangle knows how to throw a party.
And
That's the truth.
Gary is a repeat
Offender.
huh?
Offender.
Offender.
That might be the way to
Still
say it.
standing. He comes every year.
Hey, also let's give a big shout out to Larry. How about that for Talbot?
Let's do that. This is a good time to do that. And back that up
And don't
on
forget
caboose.
Caboose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Banner on.
Hey, Bob, I just thought I'd tell you is that, if we have insurance needs coming up for the whole season for all performers, Larry's still there to help us all the time. He's helped me many a times. He answers his phone. And for the viewers that haven't used Larry, reach out to him and at least get a quote from him, nothing else. And those new pair of boots need to come from El Paso, I think. Caboots? Where
Yeah,
else?
That's right.
That's
right. And guess what? Larry
Champion.
can insure your boots.
Yeah, that's right. That's when you buy insurance from Larry, he will insure your boots.
That's right.
That's right.
All right, now guys, we need to go back and address the second trivia question. Spangle, they're having trouble with it, so we're going to have to go ahead and give them the source where we got that question from.
Oh my goodness. Okay, the source is WatsoniaPodiatry.com.
And it's one simple question, exactly as it reads, and to give you every answer.
No, that was the first one. We needed the second one. That's the cruise mummy.
Huh?
He gave the first one. We needed the second one.
That is the second one.
That is the second one.
Why did you put cruise mummy on there?
Have some more of your cup.
I guess it was probably the one from last week, and I didn't erase it.
Okay, so everybody's probably thinking I'm the retard here.
No, it's Daddy's always a retard, as she says. That's not a nice word to use.
Joseph Cunningham says, love the MAPS crew. So many wonderful relationships and thankful that they embrace us who live and work in northwestern Indiana.
Yep.
And I see that
They've
AJ,
actually reached all over the country now, haven't they? They're taking in members from everywhere.
Pretty much. Yes.
I see that AJ said, hi, Rex Ray. Hi, Rex. Glad to have you join us tonight. Good to see you here.
Mm.
Also, yes, Angela, that link that I left underneath there was from last week. I didn't erase it. That was for the cruise question that we had last week.
Yeah. Larry, how you doing? We're glad you're here. Pam Swank Yates. Glad to see you on here while we're trying to get answers here.
Okay. Well, we can always go ahead and jump down here and give the go through the first trivia and wrap it up, get it out of the way. So, schoolofsantas.com. This is for the scholarship drawing for School of Santas, also for North Pole Cornerstones. You get your name in the hat for each one of those drawings. Up until the 20th century,
Just about
doctors who
ready
focused
to
on
do the
faith.
drawing.
Huh?
We're just about ready to do that drawing.
Yeah, it's coming up here pretty quick. So up until the 20th century, doctors who focused on feet, ankles, and legs were called, and this is not, it's spelled different than it is actually pronounced. It's spelled CHIROPODIST, which most people try to pronounce it as chiropodist, but it's chiropodist is actually the correct pronunciation on that. And
Older than Santa.
older than Santa, 40,000 years ago. That's how long people's been wearing shoes. Can you believe that? 40,000 years. And they actually found a pair of shoes that carbon date back to 40,000 years. And yes, it was leather. And the most expensive pair of shoes ever
Came from Kansas.
Came from Kansas. We gave that clue. That's right, Dorothy. The shoes from the Wizard of Oz, and those things sold for $660,000 last time they were sold. And where they housed at, Spangle?
Where they housed that, they are housed.
Smithsonian.
I believe it's Smithsonian, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yes.
And you know, the thing about it is that's getting close to the Valentinos, aren't they, Kathy?
Oh yeah,
Oh.
With the red bottoms.
the red
Yeah, oh
bottom.
my goodness.
There's red on top.
I just have a problem with that one answer, though. I just don't know how they got this figured out.
Which one are we talking about?
The doctor,
The name of it?
40,000 years ago.
No, that was the
That's how long they've been wearing shoes.
humans have been wearing shoes for 40,000 years, according to the.
Okay. But I mean, really? I mean, do we really got this figured out at 40,000 years? That is 30,000 years before Christ.
Yep.
That's what carbon dating says it was.
Maybe it's 4,000.
And
It's got too many zeros.
that question also came from the same source as the second question. I just used the same source for both of them. So,
Yeah, are you sure that the number's right though?
well, Google it for me. Google and see what you come up with.
How long had there been shoot?
Careful now, Spangle.
Oh my goodness.
Well, here 10,000.
10,000.
10,000 years.
Is that a song?
Yeah.
Anyway, we had a winner who had the right answer. So,
That's when I gave the source,
yeah.
Yeah.
the source that you used, but.
All right. Well, have
No.
we got an answer for the second one?
We got to tell who the winner is for the first one first.
Winner for the first one.
Well, can I guess who it is?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think it's the Trivia King,
Yep, Mr. Trivia.
Mr.
True.
Mr. Trivia, AJ Bayless.
First one.
I was
Now he goes in a hat, boy. He's going to have his name in there more than anybody else, I believe.
Looks like AJ might make it to Cornerstone this year.
Or back to School of Santas for a
yeah.
second time. Okay, so what are we lacking on the second question? Anything?
Well, so far, Connie, she was pretty close. Connie, is she in timeout? Let me check. She was close. She didn't have it exactly, but she was close.
Well, while you're doing that, Santa Doug has a question for Kathy and Bruce. Do you have
All right.
any special traditions or routines you follow to get into character each season?
Oh.
It's showtime.
Yeah.
Yeah, really. It's the biggest thing is our relationship, the way that we continually kibitz with each other kind of lends itself to being ready for
And then,
whatever the kids will throw.
and then there's the checking of all the equipment, like your boots, your, your outfits. And
Make sure you have your hat, got your suspenders, your boots.
he's forgotten a few things along the line.
Well-
I also I prep meal prep before
Yeah.
the season starts, and sometime in late October I'll just do a whole weekend of making like homemade TV
Freezer
dinners,
meals.
freezer meals, because oftentimes our gigs last till 10 o'clock at night, and there's not a burger you want to eat at the fast food place after that time. So
One that's been sitting in the car for 4 hours.
yeah,
Yeah.
and packing
I've
healthy.
done that before too.
Yeah.
But one of the traditions and routines I do is I get in there and I start getting my head in the game the minute I get out of the shower and start with my hair and beard. And usually my elf is trying to get my suit out and laid out and I guess that's the routine for me. And by the time I get my suit on, my head's in the game.
Mhm.
Yes.
Because the minute I start fixing my hair and makeup, I mean, I become that person even at home.
Yes.
So that's my take on that. So for what it's worth, anyhow, like I said, I'm the youngest Santa experience wise on the team, but I've probably been to more schools than most Santas.
Yeah. I bet you
By
have.
force. This one
Yeah.
and that one.
I'm trying to put in the exact link that I got this from, Spangle.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this is our first year at our condo unit, and we found after we moved in that we couldn't put any Christmas decorations in our front lawn or hang anything from the gutters or the roof. It was just HOA laws, so we have bushes out in the front, our garden area, and we couldn't put anything in until November 15th. So that was a real struggle too. So November 15th, that morning, we're out there putting, all this stuff in all this small space, and everybody's got in the condo is going, that was so cool. It's so good to see everything all lit up.
The next year before, and when they have their HOA meeting, make sure you show up with a bag of coal and you show up with some half-baked cookies.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Yep.
Oh yeah.
Maybe it'll get their attention.
I can tell you, you see there's a Christmas tree right here with the lights on. You go outside my door and I'm on a major highway. The lights are all on the building. All the Christmas lights are on. Christmas tree. I don't know, you guys never seen my setup here, have you?
Right. No.
I live 30 feet that way is my house. And all my Christmas stuff was up there too.
We had a Christmas tree on the front porch too.
Yeah.
I got one outside. I'm gonna see if I can pull this up without it going.
When he married Georgetta, that bookcase behind him was not there.
Yeah.
Georgetta decided he needed Christmas figurines and Christmas stuff behind him. She built the shelves and started filling them, and she hasn't stopped. And you can look; they're packed.
They're over there too. And they're all up there, and they're just.
Yeah, it was just drapes before, wasn't it, Spangle?
What's that?
It was just drapes behind you before, wasn't it?
No, it was actually my filing system.
Ah, okay.
If you go back to some of those shows.
See the screen, Spangle?
There you go.
I don't agree with it.
Well, why don't we agree that you don't agree?
Yep.
And let's move on.
All right.
So again, that's where I got that answer, and the other answer right there, you can see the pair of ruby red shoes. It all came from this one source.
Yeah.
Okay, Angie, you can remove it.
The shoes with the red soles are Christian Louboutins, and I don't recognize that brand because Walmart doesn't carry it.
Good point.
So if Angie will accept me on the other line there, I'll walk outside real quick.
Okay. Send him up on his phone, Angie. He's got to get away from his other source, so he'll stop hollering. Spangle.
Not dark enough yet. It's not dark enough yet.
Yeah. Oh, it
wasn't dark enough yet.
No.
It's still light outside where we are.
Where are we at? Closing thoughts? Oh, the other trivia.
Yeah, the trivia.
Have we got a winner on the second one now?
Who's got the majority of the answers?
Connie has 3 out of 5, and Pamela has 2 out of 5. Or Pamela has 1 out of 5.
Okay, well, let's just go ahead and give it to Connie. And
did not Connie just win last week or the week before?
Is she eligible?
She won back in March, so she came out of timeout.
She's out of timeout then. Okay, fantastic. So, StuffPercenta.com. How many bones, joints, ligaments, muscles, and tendons does a single human foot contain, and how many sweat glands does a pair of feet have? Your answer is 26 bones, 33 joints, 107 ligaments, 19 muscles and tendons,
and roughly 250,000 sweaty glands.
That's right. Your feet have the majority of the sweat glands on your body.
That's
why
for
your feet
one
sweat
foot too, isn't it? Not for both.
It said pair of feet.
Oh, okay.
So I assume that was for both feet. Maybe not, Bruce. It may be only for one. Again,
that's
I don't think we'll be doing podiatry anymore after tonight. I think we're going to retire that one.
Well, I think we've come to the end of the hour, Bob.
It's gotten close, hasn't it? Sure has. Spangle, what's your closing thoughts tonight, my friend?
Well, I think I need to go in there and do some homework about shoes.
I'll send you this link when we get off. That way you can go in there and research the. It was a pretty cool article actually. So anyway, thank you so much, Kathy and Bruce. We have had a fun hour. We'll have to have you guys back again soon. You're too much fun, and there's so much more that we could have covered. First show into TNL is always kind of a basic standard questions and answers. And thank you, Bruce and Kathy, for putting together those questions for us.
And so much amazing experience.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So my final thoughts tonight is when it comes to Christmas performers, experience is vital. No amount of wishful thinking can elevate your performance without putting in the work.
That's right.
Discipline and work ethics can get you the results you're looking for, but that'll take time. Large conventions and workshops and training will get results, but only giving you small bites at a time, and those classes are limited. Most of the time, it is time shared with your fellow clauses that reaps better results. We talked about that.
Amen.
In my opinion, schools and education retreats in multiple days are where the real results happen because education, performance, and sharing of ideas and experience come together for a more conducive learning. Get out and take advantage of the opportunities that are out there because, as Gordon Bailey always reminded us, you don't know what you've missed until it's gone.
That's
If
true.
you don't know, then you just don't know. Spangle?
Man, I'll tell you what, we can't forget next Tuesday, 7 Central, 8 Eastern for the TNL episode Tuesdays.
That's right.
Don't forget to watch all the TNL Network Productions 2025 list of shows.
Yeah. And see if you can guess which person watching the Bob and Phoenix show, watch all those comments and see which one is their parole officer. But anyways, catch Bob and Phoenix Monday at 3 p.m. Central.
Monday, 6 Central, 7 Eastern. Catch Sean White, The Claus Connect. New night, new time on TNL Network. Don't forget to catch Sean. She's got a great, she has great guests, and she's got some really neat stuff coming every other week. So it's like a mystery guest. And and there's always that opportunity to get your hat in the box, your name in the hat. I guess not the hat in the box, but the name in the hat for Northwell Cornerstones as well. And possibly we'll have to see us. Spangle's got one.
There is a true fact to what you said. Hats do come in boxes.
Well, last time Spangle sold one. But anyhow, it's been great, and we'll see you on Sean's show on Monday evening.
Tomorrow night is the ever popular Kringle Brothers with content you won't want to miss. Kringle time started at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern, streaming on YouTube and Facebook, powered by TNL Productions. Join Santa Mel on Thursday, 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern on Santa's Magical Fellowship. This week's is Jeff McMullen.
Yes. Santa Mac's going to be on. Tell them, kick up your heels, join in the fun for 2025, all powered by TNL Network Productions. Thanks to SchoolofSantas.com, StuffForSanta.com, Talbot Insurance Services, NPCornerstones.com, SantaNana.com, NationwideSantas.com, and CubBoots.com. Tell everyone, good night, Spangle.
Good night, Spangle.
How about you, Scott?
Good night, Scott.
Very good. Remember to join us for our next Tuesday Night Live each week, 7 p.m. Central, same clause time, same clause channel. Count your blessings, not your sorrows. Have a blessed week. Good night, all. Happy closing. See you
Good night,
later.
everyone.
Stick around, guys. We'll talk to you in the back.